They thought they could throw stones and never be buried beneath the avalanche they started. My dear chosen ones, they never saw it coming. You didn't raise your voice. You didn't swing back. You didn't need to. Because you, yes, you, became the karma they thought they had outrun. They thought they were safe behind their pretty lies and empty performances. Thought they could toss your name in the dirt and walk away clean. But then came the plot twist they never wrote into their script. You didn't break. You rose, quietly, unapologetically. And now your very existence is a receipt printed by the universe, stamped with every wrong they tried to bury. They assumed karma was some distant storm, slow-moving, poetic, and patient. But what shakes them now is the truth. Sometimes karma shows up wearing skin, breathing fire, and walking with purpose. Sometimes karma doesn't knock. It steps in through the silence, and that silence, chosen one, was you. You weren't sent to entertain illusions or soften blows. You were born to rupture comfort zones, to rattle liars with your presence, to make cowards blink twice. Your walk alone exposes fake love, weak apologies, and the trembling truth they tried to lock in a box. You are the mirror they never wanted to face. You ever wonder why they panic when you walk in? Why they start explaining things you didn't ask about? Why they disappear the moment you go quiet? It's because deep down, they know they played themselves. They wronged the one soul who could have been their blessing, and now they're haunted by what they tried to sabotage. They called you too much, but what you really were was too real. Chosen ones, let this fuel you. Let their regret be your confirmation. You don't need revenge when your growth is already the punishment. You don't need closure when your silence is louder than their confessions. And you don't need validation from those who once mocked you, because the same mouths that doubted you are now the ones choking on their regret. They thought you were harmless, but they forgot. When karma walks on 2 feet, it doesn't scream. It shakes. And you, chosen one, are the quake they'll never recover from. And before we dive deeper, chosen ones, let's take a breath together. Whether you've just found this space or you've been walking this path with us for a while, your energy here isn't by accident. If you've ever felt like your silence caused more chaos than your words, if your mere presence exposed the very lies people tried to bury, then you already know this message is your mirror. Go ahead and like this video, hit subscribe, and drop 77 in the comments if you're done being misunderstood and ready to own the power of being a living consequence. And if this message resonates, show your support through super thanks. It helps us keep bringing this truth to light. And now, let's unpack it step by step. Because if you really are who you think you are, then what's coming next is going to sound way too familiar. Only the real ones feel this deep in their bones. This isn't coincidence, it's confirmation. Let's get into it. Number 1, you didn't come to fit in. You were dropped into their illusion to detonate it. They tried to bury the storm, but you were the earthquake waiting in silence. The most dangerous thing you can ever underestimate is the calm before the karma. My dear chosen ones, let's set the record straight from the very beginning. They didn't see you coming, not because you were hiding, but because their arrogance made them blind. They thought they were untouchable, that their lies, their masks, their manipulation could shelter them from the fallout. But here you are, not loud, not flashy, just quietly devastating. A living karma wrapped in calmness, showing up like a truth bomb nobody ordered but everybody had coming. They assumed your silence was surrender. But silence from a chosen one is never surrender. It's the quiet pull of an approaching reckoning. You didn't crash into their world, you shifted it. You didn't scream to be seen, you appeared, and everything fake began to fall apart. You're not just a person, chosen one. You're a living contradiction to every lie they told to maintain control. You're not in their story as a character. They are in yours as a warning. You were the mirror they prayed they'd never face. Some people meet joy, others meet pain. But you are the consequence. You are the energy that exposes every crack in a carefully constructed facade. They can't decode you, control you, or cancel you, because what you carry isn't personality, it's presence. And that presence alone brings karma to their doorstep without you ever lifting a finger. They speak of karma like it's slow, far away, or mythical. But what they didn't realize is that sometimes karma walks in on two legs, locks eyes with you, and never says a word, because it doesn't have to. It just exists, and you are that walking verdict. So if you've ever wondered why your energy causes chaos, if you've noticed how people either cling or run, love or slander, it's not by accident. It's because you're the living proof that masks don't work forever. You, chosen one, are the shift, the error in their system, the storm in their blue sky. You weren't created to be liked. You were designed to be remembered. Let them be uncomfortable. Let them spin stories, because they know exactly what you are. A consequence wrapped in skin, truth wrapped in presence, karma wrapped in silence. And now, they can't unmeet you. They can't unfeel you. And they sure as hell can't undo the chaos you triggered simply by existing. Number 2. You don't chase karma. You walk in and it handles the room for you. They expected fireworks. What they got was a blackout, silent, irreversible, and lit by truth. My dear chosen ones, understand this clearly. You're not out here plotting revenge. You're not tracking who wronged you or chasing closure like a lost traveler. You are the closure. You walk in and the room adjusts itself. Energy scrambles, eyes shift, guilt rises. And the ones who once smirked at your pain suddenly look like they've seen a ghost, because they have, and it's the ghost of everything they thought they'd buried. You don't bring drama. You bring justice with no need for noise. Your calm shakes tables. Your silence flips scripts. You enter and karma doesn't arrive later. It arrives with you. You don't have to seek balance. You are the balance. That's why people regret how they treated you only after you show them what presence without pity looks like. Let's break it down. They thought time would erase their wrongs, that if they avoided you long enough, their past actions would fade. But then you reappeared, not to remind them, but to reflect them. And in that reflection, they saw what karma really looks like. Not a cosmic delay, but a living, breathing consequence wearing a calm face. Chosen one, you are not here to clap back. You are not here to argue. You're the moment they realize they messed with the wrong soul. You're the one that leaves them speechless, not from rage, but from realization. That's more powerful than anything you could ever say. You don't walk in with a grudge. You walk in with gravity, and gravity doesn't ask for respect. It demands it. People will try to read you, control you, or minimize you, but nothing terrifies them more than a chosen one who's unfazed, unbothered, and untouched. You carry the kind of presence that doesn't need introduction because the energy introduces itself. So let them talk, let them whisper, let them regret. Because the more they spin, the more obvious it becomes. You never had to lift a finger. You walked in, karma handled the rest. And it always will. Number 3. Your silence wasn't weakness. It was the thunder that collapsed their masked reality. Your silence wasn't submission. It was the earthquake that shattered their delusion. They thought your silence was surrender, until the ground split beneath their performance. My dear chosen ones, let them talk. Let them convince themselves you were scared, confused, too broken to speak. Let them replay the silence you gave them and mislabel it however they need, because deep down they know exactly what it was. It was the calm before their collapse. See, they expected rage. They wanted the explosion. They were baiting you into showing your teeth so they could justify the damage they caused. They poked at your pain, hoping to provoke a breakdown. Because to them, if you cracked, they won. But instead, you walked away, quietly, fully, with a silence that didn't ask for closure, because you were the closure. And that's what rattled their bones. Chosen one, your silence wasn't just golden, it was the gravitational pull that flipped their entire facade upside down. Because you didn't play the part. You didn't dance to the beat of their chaos. You ghosted their manipulation, and in doing so, exposed the hollowness of their control. You weren't hiding, you were healing, and in that healing, your silence became the very karma they tried to outrun. They called you weak for not reacting, but that was projection. You were too precise to entertain their circus. You weren't built for performative pain. You were the lesson they thought they'd never get. And when you disappeared, so did the shield that kept their secrets safe. You didn't collapse. Their illusion did. That's why they still stalk you. That's why they still talk about you. Because they thought silence was the end. But for you, it was the turning point, the invisible weapon that cracked their mask from the inside out. You weren't passive, you were powerful. You let the silence speak volumes, and what it whispered in their world was this: the performance is over, now face your truth. Number 4, they mistook you for the cure, until your reflection became their breakdown. They came to you thinking you'd be their escape hatch, their emotional first aid kit, their fresh start. They smiled in your face, not because they valued your soul, but because they thought they could use your light to patch up their cracks. My dear chosen ones, they didn't see you as a storm. They saw you as a soft breeze they could command. But what they didn't expect was the mirror. You weren't there to fix them. You were there to reveal them. See, some people aren't looking for growth. They're looking for shelter from themselves. They thought being around you would make them feel better, but instead, they started seeing their true selves reflected in your energy. Not the fake version they show to others. Not the carefully curated mask they wear for applause, but the real, raw, hidden version. The insecure, manipulative, wounded parts they've buried for years. And when that mirror didn't flatter them, when it cracked the illusion of who they thought they were, they panicked. That's when the breakdown began. That's when they started blaming you, hating you, running from the very reflection they begged for. Chosen one, you weren't their cure. You were their consequence. You didn't come to be their emotional janitor. You came to show them the mess they were too comfortable living in. You didn't hurt them. You just made it impossible for them to hide. And that's what destroyed them from within. You made them feel the weight of their own choices. You made their secrets louder. You made their shadows scream. They wanted peace without accountability, healing without effort, love without honesty. But your energy doesn't offer shortcuts. It exposes the path. And that path, it's steep, it's uncomfortable. It requires them to strip down their ego and finally do the inner work. Most won't. So instead of rising with you, they fall apart in your presence. And that fall, it's not your guilt to carry. They mistook your presence for a remedy. But what they got was reality. You are not the bandage. You're the truth beneath the wound. And for that, they'll never forget you, even if they try to erase you. Number 5, you don't just shift energy. You rip the false foundation from under their feet. You didn't just walk in. You shattered the illusion they built their power on. My dear chosen ones, they weren't afraid of you. They were afraid of what would crumble the moment you showed up. You didn't come to play along with their performance. You came to flip the stage. The moment you entered their space, the game changed. Without you saying a single word, That's because your energy doesn't just shift the atmosphere, it breaks the spell. They thought their lies were solid, that their manipulation would hold, that their charm, their fake alliances, their perfectly painted masks would go unquestioned. But chosen ones don't need to interrogate people. You walk in and the walls start sweating. Their confidence turns into paranoia. Their calm turns into fidgeting. Because deep down, they know you're not just a presence, you're a reckoning. You don't shake the table, you rip it out from under them and replace it with truth. You didn't attack, you didn't scheme, you didn't expose them with evidence or gossip. You just existed, and that was enough to reveal everything they were hiding. Why? Because chosen ones don't blend in. You uncover. Your presence alone shows people what they've been running from. And when someone's whole life is built on pretending, your truth is an earthquake. They regret how they treated you now, not because of what you said, but because of what fell apart when you left. You didn't destroy anything. They built their kingdom on quicksand. You were simply the storm that made the cracks undeniable. They told others you were dramatic, too intense, hard to understand, but what they really meant was, I couldn't manipulate this one. They failed to keep control, and now their house of cards is choking in the wind of your silence. My dear chosen ones, you don't just shift energy. You strip illusions. You reveal the fake power structures. You bring truth where there was shadow, and that's why they fear you. That's why they watch you. That's why they'll never forget you. Because once you've shaken the ground beneath a person's lies, they'll never feel steady again. Number 6. They fear you because you can't be owned, molded, or decoded. They wanted a puppet. Instead, they met a storm with no strings. My dear chosen ones, this world is built to tame wild energy, to domesticate the fire, to box in the unexplainable, to cage what it cannot comprehend. But then you walked in, not asking for permission, not needing validation, not fitting the format. You, chosen one, are the blueprint breaker, the soul they couldn't study, the energy they couldn't replicate, and the silence they couldn't shake. They don't fear you because of anything you've done. They fear you because of who you are without even trying. You're unbranded, untamed, and uninterested in becoming digestible for the masses. You're a walking paradox, calm yet chaotic, still yet explosive, and they can't figure you out. You don't move on impulse, you move on alignment. You don't chase, you attract. You don't blend, you stand out. While they obsess over controlling narratives and bending people to their schemes, you stay 10 steps ahead without ever lifting your voice. That terrifies them, because their power is built on predictability. And you, chosen one, are the disruption, the anomaly in their matrix. They can't figure out what drives you, and that alone makes you dangerous. You don't flinch under pressure, and you don't dance to their tune, and that makes them feel powerless. You weren't made to follow, you were made to shift entire realities just by being in the room. That's why people try to label you as too much, hard to deal with, or complicated. But let's call it what it really is. They're just afraid of what they can't own. They're scared of a presence that doesn't fold, an energy that can't be swayed, and a soul that can't be seduced by their illusions. You break patterns they've relied on for decades. You see through tactics they thought were foolproof. And worst of all, you do it without needing to lift a finger. They're used to manipulating the weak. But you, chosen one, were never made to be manipulated. You weren't made to be molded. You were made to be mirrored. And in your reflection, they see everything they pretend not to be. So when they whisper behind your back, when they try to shrink you or decode you, let them. Let them try, because you're not here to fit their story. You're here to end the chapter entirely, and they know it. Number 7, you're not a disruption. You're the reckoning they didn't schedule but can't escape. They thought they had the script written, the cast selected, and the outcome secured, until you walked in, unscripted, uninvited, and undeniable. My dear chosen ones, understand this. You were never the chaos. You were the correction. The moment you entered their life, reality checked in, and illusions began to check out. They didn't see it coming because they never expected their karma to wear a calm face, speak with quiet power, and smile without threat. But that's what makes your presence so potent. You don't have to raise your voice to shake the floor. You don't have to swing to bring down an empire. You just exist, and the foundation beneath them begins to crack. You're not a disruption, chosen one. You're the mirror that never lies, the presence that awakens what they buried, and the storm that reminds them no one escapes energetic justice. While they were busy managing optics, you were radiating undeniable frequency. They tried to ignore it, dismiss it, label it. But here's the truth. The frequency of the chosen can't be blocked, only felt. And when it hits deep. It scrapes the ego. It exposes the mask. And worst of all, it leaves no room to hide. You didn't arrive to disturb their peace. You arrived to reveal the lie they called peace. You walked in with a vibration that refused to lower itself to fit their fiction, and so they flinched. They scattered. They blamed you, because facing themselves was never part of their plan. But guess what? Life didn't ask for their schedule. Karma didn't RSVP. And you, yes, you, are the moment they've been avoiding their entire lives. They'll try to call you too much, the problem, the one who changed everything. And in a way, they're right. Because chosen ones are supposed to change everything. You weren't made to keep their illusions intact. You were born to break the cycles they refuse to end. You're not a guest in their life. You're the reset they never wanted, but desperately needed. Let them call it destruction. We call it transformation. And trust this, no matter how hard they try to deny your impact, they feel it. In every awkward silence, every lie they have to maintain, every fake smile they wear, they feel your energy echoing. And deep down, they know they're not facing you. They're facing themselves. You are not the disruption. You are the reckoning, and no one escapes you unchanged. And with that, chosen ones, let this truth settle in your bones. You are not the storm they feared. You are the balance the universe demanded. You didn't knock down their reality. You simply walked in and exposed what was already crumbling. That's the power of being a living karma. You are unforgettable, undeniable, and unshakable. If this message hit home, show love by smashing that like button, hitting subscribe, and dropping 77 in the comments to let the world know you're owning your energy. Share this with another chosen one who needs the reminder. They were never the disruption. They were the reckoning.